Hello children and welcome to the session today. Children, light is a very essential part of our environment. It is because of sunlight that life is possible on earth. It is because of the light in this room that you are able to see me. It is probably because of the light in your room that you are able to do so many activities during daytime. So children, today in this chapter, we are going to learn about reflection of light, chapter number 16. So we have learned some basic properties of light in the previous classes. Now we are going to learn more about them. We are going to learn about regular and diffused reflection, the laws of reflection, characteristics of image formed with a plane mirror, and the concept of multiple reflection. So right from junior classes, we've been understanding the concept of luminous and non-luminous sources. So what are luminous sources of light? Sun, candle, torch. These are all luminous sources of light because they have got light of their own. And non-luminous sources are like a book, maybe a pen, which do not have light of their own. Now, the next concept that we understand about light is that when light hits a surface, it is reflected back. But what kind of a surface should this be? It should be an opaque object. This object here should not allow any light to pass through it. Now, suppose light falls on a transparent mirror. What is going to happen? Light is going to pass through it. And then there is a third category of objects which is known as translucent objects, like a butter paper. They allow some light to pass through it and some is reflected back. Now a simple diagram of reflection will tell you that the light ray goes back like this. But is there any other way that light is reflected? Let us understand the concept of regular and diffused reflection. When a parallel beam of light strikes a smooth polished surface like a plane mirror, it gets reflected back as a parallel beam of light. This is called regular reflection. When a parallel beam of light strikes a rough surface like a cardboard, it gets reflected in various directions. This is called irregular reflection. So, irregular reflection is also known as diffused reflection. Now, children, coming to the laws of reflection which we have already studied. So, here is an experiment also that is given in your book, and this experiment we conducted in the previous class also in grade 7. So, here the ray of light that comes from the source is known as incident ray, and the ray of light that is reflected from the mirror is known as the reflected ray. Now both these strike at a point O. From O we draw an imaginary perpendicular line which is known as the normal. So here the angle that the incident ray forms with the normal is known as angle of incidence, and the angle formed by the reflected ray with the normal is known as angle of reflection. So what are the two laws of reflection? The first law is that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection always. Second, the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal, they all lie in the same plane. So if you look at this picture carefully, you will realize that all three lie on the same side. What is this called? This is called being on the same plane. Now another concept is lateral inversion. So what is lateral inversion? When you stand in front of the mirror and you raise your right arm, what will the image in the mirror do? It will also raise its arm, but you will feel as though that image is raising its left arm. So this is lateral inversion. You see the opposite of it. Now children, there are certain characteristics of an image that is formed with a plane mirror. What are these? Let's read them together. The image formed from the mirror is always virtual and erect. The image is laterally inverted, that is, the right side of the object becomes the left side of the image and vice versa. The distance of image is equal to the distance of the object from the mirror. The size of the image is equal to the size of the object. So children, there is another experiment in your book that shows you that the image formed inside the mirror is same as that of the object formed outside. A very simple experiment that you can do in your class as well. Now let's talk about multiple reflections. So if I go to get a haircut done, what does the barber do after the haircut? They show you a mirror from the back. So while sitting straight and while looking at the mirror in front, you get to know the haircut from the back because there is a mirror in the back and you can see the reflection of that mirror in the mirror in front of you. What is this called? This is called multiple reflection. And an example of multiple reflection is a kaleidoscope. What is a kaleidoscope? Let's understand that. A kaleidoscope is a device that uses reflections to produce patterns. In a kaleidoscope, mirrors are inclined to each other and form multiple images of objects in front of them. Form a triangular tube with 3 equal-sized mirror strips stuck together with a sellotape, with the shining surfaces facing inwards. Put a white paper or a transparent plastic pouch on one end of the triangular tube. Fix it firmly with the sellotape so that the mirrors do not fall when the tube is held vertically. Put into the tube colored glass pieces from the other end and cover the end of the tube with a stiff paper and make a hole at its center. Cover the curved portion of the tube with the colored paper. Your kaleidoscope is ready. If you look through the hole, you will see beautiful patterns. Turn the tube slowly, you will see changing patterns. This happens due to multiple reflections. So mirrors find a variety of uses in our everyday life. Of course, we see our faces in the mirror the first thing in the morning when we are brushing our teeth. Then mirrors are also used as large reflectors. When outdoor film shooting is done, it increases the amount of light. In vehicles, mirrors are used to see the rear side of the road. There is a rear mirror and then there are side mirrors. So children, mirrors are required everywhere. So in this chapter, we have understood the concept of reflection of light. We have understood the laws of reflection, simple reflection, multiple reflection, regular and diffused reflection. We have also understood the use of a kaleidoscope. So I hope you are ready to attempt the questions at the back. Thank you so much.